Rev up your engines!
Mike69 says, Scotty, what's the worst thing about being on YouTube? Sadly enough, to me, the absolute worst thing is that I can't answer everyone's questions. I love to help people out, and I used to answer everybody's questions. I've been doing this for, 12 years now on YouTube. And originally, I actually answered every single question that was asked me. And over the years, I've answered over 1 million questions. But I can't answer them all now, because every time I answer one, another 4 come up. I'd just be sitting around doing nothing but answering questions. I still couldn't answer them all. I pick the highlights whenever I can, and I keep it in my mind, what's the most relevant to people? What's the most popular question that people have? So when I'm doing my live car talks, and I'm quick screening through all those questions people are asking, I want one that's both interesting and novel if all possible, but a common one that a lot of people want to know. So even if I don't get to your question, I may be answering most of what you ask anyway through someone else's question. Tristan Martinez says, should I buy my parents' 05 Mercedes-Benz C240 4MATIC for $3,000 or buy an 06 to 09 Honda Civic? Some parents you have, they should give you the car. Those things are such money pits. They should give you the car and a few thousand for fixing it for the first year. But, I mean, if you're going to have to pay money, get the Honda, because they're much better vehicles in the long run. They won't cost the money. And those 4MATICs, you're talking about an all-wheel drive Mercedes. Oh, man, those things are expensive to fix. I got customers that are doctors and lawyers and had those things. And even they got rid of them because they said it was costing them too much money to fix as they wore out. Get the Honda Civic. You'll have more fun in it, and the insurance will be cheaper. You're better off with it. Hammer223. Scotty, how much does an automotive mechanic make a year, and is it enough to live off? Well, if you're a good one, it is. But here's the problem. If you're like me, I've been working on cars since I was 14. I was working when I was a kid on the weekends, and I was learning and watching my grandfather. If you're starting from scratch and you're working for somebody else, you got to build it up to make decent money. And of course, generally, the people that own the business are going to make the lion's share of the profit, not you as a mechanic. But if you get good enough, you can run your own business, you can make a very good living like I have. Because then you're making all the profit. You're not sharing it with anybody else. You do have to learn how to do it, that's the thing. And they are getting more and more complex. But you can make a really good living, especially if you want to learn about electronics. Because modern cars are all electronics filled. And if you like electronics, hey, work on modern cars. Figure out you can fix things that other people don't know how to. You can make a lot of money. Kyle Hansen said, I'm looking to buy a sedan or coupe. I'm wondering what your thoughts on Japanese versus current Korean cars, Kia, Hyundai, Dodge, Subaru, Chrysler, Honda, Toyota, Nissan. Thank you. If you're going to buy a sedan or coupe and you want it to last as long as possible, get a Toyota. Well, the Hondas are really good too, but the Honda automatics are a little weak. So if you can drive a Standard, a Honda Standard is just as good as the Toyotas. But I wouldn't buy a Honda automatic myself. I would not buy a Korean car for one reason, that they're a lot better than they used to be, but they still aren't as good as the Toyotas or Hondas. People can give you all kinds of BS here and there. Oh, I have one and it's great, la, 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 la. Believe me, I'm a mechanic. I fix cars for a living. I really don't care to tell lies to people. I tell them the truth. This is a good car. This is a bad car. Now, some mechanics, they're going to be dishonest, and they're going to say, yeah, buy that car knowing, oh, that thing's going to fall apart. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. I'm not that way. I keep my customers happy. They come to me, and I fix things that break from old age most of the time, unless they happen to have a Chrysler product, a Fiat product that really break down all the time. Then I tell them basically they should get rid of the car. I'm not dishonest and say, yeah, just keep it, and I'll keep making money fixing it. No, I'm not that way. I don't advise you to buy them for that reason. Now, I do have customers that bought Kias brand new, the cheapest ones they can get their hands on, and we're happy with them, and they didn't have too many problems the first 100,000 miles. If you're like that and you want to spend that money on a new one, you can go right ahead. But as I said earlier, hey, I buy nothing but used cars. And if you're going to buy nothing but used cars, you're best to stick to Toyota and Honda. Swaggle says, Scotty, I'm going to buy a Mazda MX-5 1.8 Mark 1 or Mark 2. I was wondering, what are the common issues? If I'm going to modify it, since I'm a tuning fan, I'm going to also drive it 4 days a week. The old Mazdas were actually excellent vehicles. Don't buy one with an automatic transmission. Automatic transmissions were horrible on those things. They don't have much fun to drive. They're slow. But if you're talking about a standard transmission, you can buy any of them. They were all well made. Now they're older. You still want to get them checked out. You want a mechanic like me to check it out before you buy it, unless you're buying it dirt cheap for $400 or something, because anybody can not take care of a car and burn the engine out from not changing the oil. But those things can be a lot of fun for driving around in. And I mean, if you have the money to buy a new one, go right ahead. But that's awful expensive, and you're talking about the older ones anyway.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.